right, next we're going to talk about how you are prepared as far as your materials are prepared for your skincare class, and how to sort of the body of the class, and the sort of steps that you go through for that. The first thing I want to show you is my roll-up bag. You want to make sure that you get one of these on your first order. If you came in with inventory, you probably got one of these for free, at least one. If you didn't come in with inventory, this is one of the first purchases that you'll want to make. So you've got your roll-up bag, and inside of it, we've got the 4 pockets. And I'll just show you what's inside of my pockets. Here's what you don't want to do. What you don't want to do is to cram every single thing that you have in your inventory or in your display products into this bag. You don't want to do that because it makes your job, again, look very, very confusing. And we're looking for recruits, so we want to make our job look as easy as possible. It's not that hard. It's only as hard as you make it. The first pocket, I'll just show you. I can tear them off of here. This pocket has in it my cleanser and moisturizer, just one formula. So in here I've got combination to oily right now. I could put my normal to dry just in my starter kit bag. This bag right here, this is what I keep everything in. It's just in one of those zip top pouches. I'll just show you what I'm talking about. These zip top pouches, I've got lots of different things in these pouches in that bag. So the normal to dry cleanser and moisturizer are in that bag right now. Inside of here I've also got the liquid foundation, a mineral powder foundation, and a brush. So what I'm showing here is set 1. Whenever we close at the end with the create a roll-up set, the create a roll-up sheet, you're going to see set 1 as your basic skincare, and it's either 54 or 68 depending on what foundation you choose. And so that's all packaged up right there in that first set. Set 2, day and night solution, cut and dry, very, very simple. Set 3 is my ideal set, and inside of here I've got an eye makeup remover, a soothing eye gel, a firming eye cream, and an eye primer. And you'll see that that set has a choice of, you would get the eye makeup remover and the firming eye cream and either the primer or the gel. And so whenever I explained how I set up my trays earlier, you can see that all of those things follow these sets. So that's set 3. And then set 4, there's actually 2 sets inside of here. And this would be our custom color set and our color completer set. And so custom color would be your custom filled compact, and you want to have one of these that you yourself don't use. This one is just for passing around so people can look at it and it looks pretty. People don't want to be touching stuff that's been all over your face. So you should have a compact that's just filled just to look at. Now if you came in with at least a $600 order in your first 15 days of business, you got one of these for free. So you could just use that one for your demo product. And then the color completer set is everything else that you need. An eyeliner, a lip liner, an ultimate mascara, and either a lipstick or a lip gloss. Some sets, actually this new roll-up sheet that we have, there's actually a concealer in this set too. And so you would add a concealer to this pocket as well. So that is your 4th pocket. And now this is all rolled up, and when you get started, it's going to be just placed neatly on the table. And then as you start to work and you get to that part where you're actually demoing the product, that's when I just sort of open it up and I hang it on my arm. And then I'll work out of these pockets. And sometimes things do fall out of the pockets though, so you want to practice that and make yourself look not too clumsy and crazy. I tend to look clumsy and crazy no matter what I do, but practice it, see what you can do with that. The next thing I would recommend is to use your flip chart. Even if you're not the kind of person that likes to read notes, or maybe you feel like you're scripted if you just read off of this the whole time. I don't care if you've read through this 100 times and you have it completely 100% memorized. I strongly believe that you should keep it with you all the time. For one thing, I just kind of keep it on my arm like this, and sometimes I don't even look at it because I've done this long enough that I pretty much have my skincare class memorized. But I do try to remember to flip through the pages as we go through. It gives my customers something to look at. It gives them an image to relate with what I'm saying. Some people are very visual learners, so if they can see something, it's going to help them to remember it a little bit more. So I follow through my flip chart, and the reason that I do that is because, again, we're looking for people who want to do what we do. I want it to look very easy. If they think they have to memorize an hour presentation, they're going to think, there's no way I could ever do that. And I would have thought that too. But when I saw my director doing it, she had her flip chart with her at all times. And she'd just say, all I do is read through the back of this and just point and squirt the stuff on the trays, and it's really not that hard. And it's true. Again, we just make it as hard as we want it to be. So use your flip chart. The other thing that is important to know in the beginning. For one thing, you can just follow the flip chart the company gave you. It's perfectly good. They just came out with a brand new one that has been even a little more simplified. I found that I could have probably made the words my own, but it just didn't flow the way that I liked it to flow. And so just based on what I've heard other directors saying and other directors in our area, the things that they use, the words that they use, I just kind of like collected ideas from different people and I made my own words for the flip chart. You can find that on the Top Banana site. It's under the training center under your must-have documents, and it's just called Shanna's flip chart. And you can print that out. It's not pictures or anything like that. You just print it out in black and white, and on the back here, where normally the words from Mary Kay would be, you just sort of trim the edges of the 8.5 by 11 paper, tape it right on here. I've changed this out several times through my career to fit changes we've had in the company or changes in myself or my position so that I can just keep it updated all the time. So you want to follow the flip chart for sure. To kind of break down the skincare class into chunks that make sense. Whatever you do in the middle of these chunks is kind of up to you, but you have to have it in a certain order. If you've ever done an outline for a speech, if you've ever done a presentation for another company, you generally have the same parts to everything. The first is going to be your opener and your introduction. So your opener, I always ask my guests to introduce themselves. So that's going to be your opener. The next thing that you do is you tell them what you're going to do today. So you've introduced yourself and opened the class. Next, you're going to tell them, here's what we're going to do. That's when you would outline things like, we're going to go through the skincare, we're going to go through color, etc. So that's when you tell them what you're going to do. And then you do it. So you demo skincare, and then you tell them what you just did. And that's the truth for any presentation you do ever. That's generally going to be the body that you see. So we started with an introduction, we told them what we were going to do, we did it, and then we recapped what we just did. So you want to do that introduction, tell them what you're going to do the skincare, recap the skincare. Next, go into color, then recap the color. And then at the end, you're going to close it out, talk about everything that you did through the class, tell them the prices, and do your closing of the sale. You're going to close your bookings, and you're going to close your recruit prospects. So those are the three things that you close at the end. So we've got opening, tell them what you're going to do it, tell them what you just did, do the color, tell them what you just did, close the class. Okay, so once you kind of know that, it makes all of the rest of this sort of fit in a little bit easier. And so in the next demonstration, the next video, I'm going to go through my actual skincare class with you.